Hello and welcome to another video here on the channel. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic out there today. Guys, it is once again time for another episode of Brawl News, your favorite spot to get all the comings and goings here inside the Brawl Stars community that you might not know about, but might want to know about. Let's go! So, we have some very important things to break down here in today's video. Literally a day after the last episode of Brawl News, a pretty significant image came out on the Brawl Stars social medias, maybe giving us a glimpse at a new Brawler trio coming around the corner. And that's not all in that image. There is a ton of things to get into that are pretty dang juicy if you ask me. On top of that, we have another image being released on the social medias of Mortis, kind of following the same trend as the last one, which is really interesting, and I'm going to give my thoughts on that. We got the brand new challenge tomorrow where you can get a ton of awesome resources along with a free Mega Brawl box, as well as some talk with new Brawler Remodeling from Frank, the game lead. So hope you guys are all pumped up for this episode of Brawl News. Let's get straight away into it. Here we go! So everyone, of course, before we get straight away into today's video, if you guys enjoy these Brawl News episodes, be sure you're subscribed to the channel. I try to do my best to stay on top of all the interesting stuff in the community that I think you guys might want to know about. And, you know, we do other things on the channel, that's for dang sure. But with all of my YouTuber shenanigans out of the way, we are beginning today's video off over here on the official Brawl Stars Twitter page to outline an absolute mammoth of a picture to go over. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I saw your comments. You're telling me to break this bad boy down. Well, it took a long time. So 3 days ago, we have tweeted out by Brawl Stars, Dynamite and Mortis, once friends, now foes. El Primo and Rosa going to the same gym. Connect the dots to tell the story. So before we get straight away into the deep dive in the theory crafting surrounding new Brawler families popping up and things along those lines, first things first, let's get the basics out of the way. This is obviously a board showing all the different Brawler families that we have in Brawl Stars and the occupants of those families, and interestingly enough, how some of them are connected. What type of relationships do certain families have in the game? What relationships do specific brawlers have with other individual brawlers in the game? It's really interesting if you are interested in Brawl Stars lore and specific character lore. It's really fun. So I think I want to start off with some of the more interesting details on this photo that may be pertaining to future developments and updates around the corner. One of the main things my eyes drifted to immediately when I saw this photo was this slip. It's a ticket to a Bad Randoms concert or event of some degree. As you can see, there is a date on it, 17/08/21, which, guys, if you're from the United States, that's August 17th. We don't have a 17th month here. For any of you guys who don't live in the United States, isn't that very strange that we put the month at the start of it, not the day? It just doesn't make sense, man. United States is weird. But it's a ticket. Now, I'm sure you guys have all seen this Bad Randoms logo being tossed around here in the community. We've seen it in photos such as this one in the top right-hand corner, a bus for Bad Randoms. We have Trash Poco as well as Wicked Stew being related to this Bad Randoms logo. We have community managers as well as Frank, the game lead, wearing the logo on a shirt saying Bad Randoms represent. And if we take a look at the patch notes for the Season 7 update, under the seasonal events, we have the Bad Randoms Punk Music event. So I think this date has everything to do with that event coming around the corner on the 17th, which is actually not that far away. We're looking at about 2 weeks. It falls on a Tuesday, so make sure to mark those calendars. On top of that, like I mentioned before in a previous episode of Brawl News, we have Trash Poco being released on the 18th of August, as well as Wicked Stew being released on the 19th. So that all kind of falls under the same umbrella. I'm really looking forward to that event. It should be fun. But with that out of the way, let's get straight away into another piece of imagery from this photo that really piqued my interest. As you can see, we have a wanted poster here from the Gold Arm Gang family. We have Belle on a wanted poster, but 2 question marks there behind her, maybe leading us into new brawlers around the corner fitting into this family, or potential update brawlers coming around the corner here very soon. Brainstorming what brawlers fall under this family, I am just loving it, guys. I really enjoy this family's vibe, right? They're kind of like the villains of the brawler families, where a lot of the families are just kind of like neutral forces in the environment. We also have, you know, the superheroes, which are the good characters, but I like these like ragged outlaw characters in the family that these brawlers are going to be fitting into it. But then that brings us to probably the most interesting bit of this photo. If we follow the cord that is connected to this wanted poster behind Colette's head, we have a portion being hidden behind Colette's head. On top of that, from the Piper, Barley, Byron family, we have another pin being connected to that point where we don't have a pin going away from Colette's head. So whatever's behind Colette's head has some significance that Brawl Stars doesn't want us to see. New Brawler family, it makes a lot of sense if you ask me. Now, if we take a look at another really interesting portion of this, as you can see, we have a tie to the portion that is going behind Colette's head saying BFF. So whatever family or whatever brawler is behind Colette's head is friends with someone from the Townsfolk family. So Barley, Piper, and Byron. Super interesting. So for this next bit, I want to give a huge shout out to Dandy Stuff over on Twitter as well as Discord. I'm sure you guys have heard of him in the community. He does a ton of theory crafting and things like that for the community, but he made this amazing depiction just to make it super easy for us to see all the different brawler families represented in this photo. And another really important thing to take away from this is we have every single brawler referenced in this photo besides one, and that is Shelly. So this is a little bit of an outdated version of the brawler families we have here in the game, but it gets the point across that I want to get across. We have Shelly falling under the Western family with Colt as well as Spike. But as you can see in the photo here, the Western family only has Colt as well as Spike, which is really peculiar if you ask me. And now another thing that people have been theorizing is that Shelly could be down here, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because all the brawler families along with its occupants are in the same bubble or close to the same bubble. So why Shelly is not here on the board, no one knows, but I'm thinking that she is not behind Colette's head, which is a good theory running around. So there's definitely a ton more questions left to be answered about the interesting details here on this board, such as, is a new brawler family coming around the corner, the portion blocked by Colette's head here? Are they going to create this new family first before prioritizing the other families that don't have a full group of 3 yet, such as the Gold Arm Gang, and even one of the more newer ones with Buzz's family? It's a really interesting concept that is still left to be answered, but I have a good feeling that we will be getting that answer in the next update coming around the corner here. But other than that, there's really nothing much else that we can take away from the board itself. I guess you could get into the minute details, such as maybe a love connection between Edgar and Ems right there with this sticky note, but I think that's just a little bit of humor going on there, and there's a ton of other references like that that we just don't have enough time to go over here in today's video. But what about the other things outside the board? There's actually been a really good ongoing theory here that maybe Jessie could be getting an update to her brawler model here in the very near future because of the change to the backpack here. I guess if you really look at it, it might look like the backpack is a tiny bit different or just drawn up in a different art style, but if you ask me, I do think there is a remodel coming for Jessie, but I don't think that's giving it away over there. I think they're just a little bit too similar. I guess we have the straps visible, which may have been looking a tiny bit different than looking at it on Jessie in game, but it looks pretty much so the same to me. And the reason I'm bringing up this remodel is we have another bit of information to get into a little bit later on in today's video. Frank confirming a few different brawlers getting their base model changed or actually updated, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But with the first image out of the way, I know it took a really long time. We're getting straight away into another photo posted 1 day ago by Brawl Stars. As you can see, it's of my boy, the creature of the night, Mortis. Them saying, how does Mortis' hat stay on his head? Is Squeak Ruff's dog? How did Belle get her scar? What other deep thoughts do you have about the brawlers? Can we just say that this is a beautiful bit of artwork? I love Mortis in this photo, and some of these smaller details here in the photo, such as poor Dynamite, the most heated rivalry in all of Brawl Stars being slayed there, and even another grave of Dynamite there. And then we have Spike in the background. Spike always making his way into photos such as this in the Brawl Stars community, which is also pretty peculiar if you ask me. But we have the other members of this family there in the background, Frank looking scary as all heck. But really the most interesting portion that I want to point out about this photo is not about the photo itself, it's about what Brawl Stars is doing as of recently over on their social medias. It seems as if they're trying to get us more invested with the characters. They want us to ask questions about the characters, getting more interested in the backstory and just understanding the lore of Brawl Stars itself. The format of this photo being basically asking us questions so that we think about these brawlers a little bit deeper, and the same goes for the photo that was posted 3 days ago. Dynamite and Mortis, once friends, now foes. There is always a reason for Brawl Stars and what they're posting here on their social media, so just really looking like the dev team wants us to get more invested with the backstory, which, hey, may be leading us into a theme for the next update here around the corner. Some developments with the lore in Brawl Stars, something more significant other than just, you know, a new Brawl Pass and introducing a new theme to the game. Maybe we'll be getting something a tiny bit more significant after the long wait of the Brawl Stars dev team going away on vacation. You never know, we'll have to wait and see on that. But with our picture breakdowns out of the way, we're getting straight away into the next bit of very exciting info here in today's video. We have the challenge being confirmed coming out in 18 hours and 16 minutes, the Summer Sports Challenge. And I gotta say, I'm very much so looking forward to this one because one, it's a 9-win challenge. It's not as daunting as a 12-win challenge or even a 15-win challenge. Those get stressful, as well as the game modes are super fun. They're all sports related. We have basket brawl, volley brawl, as well as brawl ball. So make sure to do your best on this challenge. Make sure to find a team or do the look for a team feature when you're gearing up for this, because there's a lot of really interesting resources along it. Some progression based stuff, as well as a free mega brawl box at the very end. We can all agree that free is awesome. As well as make sure to use your resources available to you. I would recommend finding a good YouTube video out there going over the maps and suggested brawlers for those game modes. I know Spen as well as Tom, creators here for Tribe, they already have videos up for this challenge that you guys can be as best prepared as possible for this bad boy. So best of luck, everyone. Do your best. And the final bit of Brawl Stars related news that I'd like to get into here in today's video that you guys might find a little bit interesting here. As you can see, Frank is back to work 3 days ago, but more interesting, here at the bottom we have a user asking, is there a character you're planning to remodel? And Frank replies with the 4 that they have in the works or that they're thinking about doing first here. So we have Jesse, Penny, robots, as well as Phoenix Crows. So like I was saying before, maybe Jesse might be getting a little bit of a sneak peek from that photo because she's getting a remodel, maybe in the next update. We'll have to wait and see. Just make sure to keep in mind that these brawlers are going to be getting remodel changes, as well as the robots. That's going to be really interesting. I can't wait to see what they do for their remodels. It's going to be awesome. And the final thing I wanted to get into here in today's video, ending things on a little bit of a wholesome note that isn't Brawl Stars related, but Ray Brawl Stars related. We just recently got a new puppy called Gracie. She is so freaking adorable. My goodness, you guys. Ending things on wholesome notes are always needed. But yeah, everyone, that's all I got for you here in today's video of Brawl News. Hopefully you guys found it enjoyable, interesting, or helpful in any way, shape, or form. As always, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to slap a like on it. Always helps out these videos. With that being said, have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out, everybody.